Good morning, everyone. It is such a pleasure to join you today in beautiful Brampton at Judith Nyman Secondary School. I'm delighted to be here with my colleagues, Minister Piccini, Minister Lecce, and Parliamentary Assistant Patrice Barnes. Today's announcement is another example of how our government is making it easier for Ontarians to get into the skilled trades so they can build rewarding careers in jobs that pay well. As MPP for Brampton Centre and Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunity, my focus is on helping women thrive and achieve the success they deserve. Now, making the skilled trades apprenticeships more easily accessible is particularly important for girls in high school, as women, because we are underrepresented in these fields. And because there is a lack of mentors in these fields and these jobs, it presents a barrier to women entering and advancing in the skilled trades. So I'm really thrilled that the new measures that we are introducing will create more networking and apprenticeship training opportunities for women so that more women here in Brampton and across the province will get the support they need to succeed in these jobs. It's so important because by 2026, it's estimated that many as 1 in 6 jobs opening in Ontario will be in the skilled trades. So we need thousands of additional workers over the next decade to build the homes, the roads, and the hospitals in the communities of the future. Under the leadership of Premier Ford, we are investing billions in our infrastructure, billions for the future of Ontarians, and we need people to be able to do this work. So encouraging more women in Brampton and across the province to pursue careers in the skilled trades is essential to addressing these workforce challenges. And it has the added benefit of promoting greater gender equality, fostering innovation, and creating a better Brampton and a stronger and more inclusive Ontario. So I have to applaud our Premier, all of my colleagues, for their ongoing work to break down barriers to the skilled trades for women and girls, paving the way for bigger paychecks for women and a better quality of life for them and their families. And that is extremely important to me. I worked in social services for almost 20 years in children's mental health. I worked with many young families, many women who were the ones who were taking care of the whole household. When women are in charge or in the lead of their financial future, they are able to make choices that keep them safer and keep their families safer. So it's important that we get women the support they need to be successful in any career they choose. Because I truly believe, and I say this all the time, that when women succeed, Ontario succeeds. And when Brampton succeeds, Ontario benefits. So now I would like to turn it over to Minister Piccini, who is making so much of this work happen for our young people, our seniors, everyone who wants to work in Ontario. He is making it happen and working tirelessly for all of you in Ontario. Minister Piccini.
Thank you. Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you. Thank you, Charmaine, and good morning, everyone. It is so exciting for me to be here. I have wanted to come and visit for months. So to finally make it is a bit of a personal dream come true, to make it here to see the incredible work being done. Got to taste some of the incredible culinary skills already this morning as someone who appreciates a good biscotti, a good cookie, a good croissant, has never shied away from one either. I can't thank you enough for welcoming us with open arms. Charmaine, thank you so much for your leadership. I want to acknowledge Skills Canada, Skills Ontario, Brad and Melissa who are here today. Charmaine, under Charmaine's leadership, folks, it's important to know, and I'll share a stat. Last year in 2023, we saw a historic year. And why was it a historic year? We saw more women register to become apprentices than at almost any other point in Ontario's history. And it is in no small part thanks to having a role model, a leader, and a champion in Charmaine Williams. So Charmaine, thank you for your leadership. Of course, Charmaine's not alone. We have a team at Queen's Park who are doing this incredible work. And I want to acknowledge Parliamentary Assistant Patrice Barnes. Her leadership in education, her background in education, and working closely with Minister Lecce has also contributed to that stat I gave you. And I want to thank you for your leadership, Patrice, in empowering especially young girls in entering the skilled trades. And I'm excited to continue to work with you. Of course, Minister Lecce, Stephen has been such a champion for youth, empowering it back to basics for youth, recognizing that a future to achieve one's full potential, it sometimes, and more often than not today, means more than just university. There is another door for success: to become an entrepreneur, to run your company, to be part of the front lines, building the hospitals, the schools that we so desperately need in Ontario, and the public transit. He recognizes that, and Stephen, I can't thank you enough for your leadership and partnership in working closely. No one knows that there's multiple paths to success better than the incredible team here at Judith Nyman Secondary School, who are inspiring students. We got to see some of them sticking their heads out of the room on the way in, and boy, are they getting a remarkable world-class education. I mean, as an aside, it's one of the reasons I'm so passionate to be an Ontarian and so proud to serve at the legislature, because we have you here at Judith Nyman. I mean, we are punching so above our weight here on a global scale. And I want to thank the team at Judith Nyman, Principal Dion, for your leadership, and for the entire team that's here. As minister, I've had the privilege of working closely with various industries and witnessing firsthand the incredible contributions that skilled tradespeople make to our province. The skilled trades and the workers who have chosen the trades as a career are a major driver of Ontario's economic prosperity and our success. They are the carpenters who build our homes. They're the electricians who keep the lights on, the plumbers who ensure our water runs, and the welders, mechanics, technicians who keep our industries running smoothly. But the skilled trades are actually more than a paycheck. And no one knows that better than one of the biggest champions, Andrew Tarr, who's here, who's been a champion for the trades in Ontario. For countless Ontarians, the skilled trades means more hope for their future, taking control of your destiny and empowering one into a meaningful career for life. This is especially true for the students here and other young people who for years have been told that university is the only path to success. And we know that that fundamentally is not the case. Even if they know it in their hearts, it's just not right for them. For those young, entrepreneurial, motivated Ontarians, they have a bright future in the skilled trades. I saw this hope and confidence yesterday firsthand when I joined Premier Ford to announce that we're starting construction and early works for Highway 413, and we'll be breaking ground in 2025, which will bring thousands of jobs. And consider this, 3 million hours of work. Big paychecks to Ontario workers and their families. We have hundreds of union workers who have chosen a career in the skilled trades. Standing together with Premier Ford, caucus colleagues yesterday, and industry leaders, these workers are excited to build this great province because we recognize that our best days are in front of us. The new homes, the new schools, the new hospitals, the new highways, and the largest low-carbon public transit project in North America requires tradesmen and women. They know that years of endless delay, studies, and bureaucratic red tape that crippled this province are over. We're building Ontario, and I saw firsthand the inspiring faces who are going to do that here this morning. That means meaningful jobs in the skilled trades. I do fundamentally believe that our best days are yet to come. But for us to achieve the prosperity we want, it means that we have to build critical infrastructure. To do this, we need more Ontarians in the skilled trades. In fact, we're going to need 500,000 over the coming decade. We must take action now. That's why I'm pleased to announce today that our government intends to introduce new measures to get more people into the skilled trades, especially students, and to help workers stay in the trades. Here at Judith Nyman Secondary School, some of you may be involved in the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program. OEAP provides youth with valuable opportunities to gain hands-on experience in the trades and can set you on a path for success in these meaningful careers. Our government is proposing to add a new accelerated stream to this popular program, and we're calling it Focused Apprenticeship Skills Training, or FAST for short. FAST will enable grade 11 and 12 high school students to participate in more apprenticeship learning through cooperative education credits while completing high school and putting them on fast track to rewarding, well-paying careers in the trades. This program is part of Premier Ford's 2023 commitment to expand options for students entering the skilled trades. This is going to be so dynamic for students to learn while they're in those final 2 years. And I'm excited for Minister Lecce to share more on the details of this excellent new program. Second, our government will also make it easier for you to find apprenticeship opportunities. So today, I'm announcing Ontario plans to launch a new online job matching portal for potential apprentices, journey persons, and employers. Currently, Ontario does not have a dedicated provincial system to help apprentices find employers and employers find apprentices who are looking for this. This is especially true in rural Ontario areas that I represent. Stadkey Plumbing, looking to get a new apprentice or an apprentice in Cobourg who might want to become a plumber. I think you're going to hear from my friend Sukraj here, who's been a plumber or may end up running his own company one day, but the key is how you match these apprentices with employer sponsors. This new platform will help streamline the process for potential apprentices to find interested sponsors, register, and begin their training. But we're not stopping there. Our government is also today launching a new pathway to the trades policy to increase access to apprenticeship training for people who have had prior experience but who cannot meet some academic entry requirements to register as an apprentice. I'll tell you a brief story. I was in my constituency office the other day, and a Ukrainian refugee came in, worked in the trades, but when the bombs dropped on Ukraine, we'll have to forgive him for not finding his secondary school diploma or any credentials. I know if I had to leave Canada today, I couldn't find mine either. So this is critical as we tackle the skilled trades gap. This policy will create a new pathway for people with work experience or relevant skill sets in the skilled trades by creating alternative criteria to assess competency, ensuring those skills and competencies are met. We are supporting more people to be able to register as apprentices. This is yet another pathway to the trades. These measures will all be part of our 5th Working for Workers bill, the 5th one. It's like Harry Potter. It just keeps getting better every year. I'm going to introduce it in the legislature next week, and it's part of our government's plan to create a brighter future for all Ontarians, to make sure we have the workers to build that brighter future, and our plan is working. Last year, as I said, we saw the highest number of apprenticeship registrations in over a decade. In addition, we saw one of the highest increases in women registering to become apprentices in Ontario's history that I mentioned at the outset. And I know Melissa's going to share some other exciting stats in her remarks with the great work that Skilled Trades Ontario is doing. But our plan is nothing without you, the workers of tomorrow and the teachers inspiring a next generation. Speaking of tomorrow, I'm proud to turn things over to Minister Lecce, who will provide more on the great work that he is doing to break down barriers for youth in education, who will tell you more about the FAST program. Minister Lecce, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much. Good morning. First off, thank you, Minister Piccini. This man never stops. He's committed to working hard to ensure we open up pathways for young people to pursue their full potential in this province. It's an honor to work with him, with the amazing Parliamentary Assistant, Patrice Barnes, with my dear friend Charmaine Williams, former councillor, MPP, minister, and leader, who's really pushing all of us to ensure that women have equal opportunity to succeed in our country. And it's an honor to work with you. So thank you to our amazing friends here at Judith Nyman Secondary School, to the young students with us, to the amazing young man with us who's enrolled in the program. We appreciate this welcome. We appreciate the collaboration. And more importantly, we're excited today as we work together. This school is one of the top enrolled schools in the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program here in Peel. So we're very proud to celebrate your leadership and excellence today. Days ago, Let me first address the elephant in the room, our plan to implement a restriction on cell phones and a prohibition on vaping in Ontario. We really set out to restore some academic focus back into our schools, discipline, and frankly, common sense, a conviction that we can do better in Ontario by working with our educators, our parents, and our students. And this starts with keeping students in class. This follows the historic achievement that we landed, where we were able to get deals with all teacher unions in good faith that kept kids in school, and it will do so for the next 3 years. Peace for these kids and for their families. Now, to build on that, we announced a comprehensive plan to restrict cell phones in class, to remove social media from school devices, and to ban outright vaping and cannabis from schools. At its core, this is about going back to basics, ensuring students are focused on building life and job skills. That's why we've invested heavily in creating the pathways to the skilled trades for Ontario students. And we're seeing the result, an over 17% increase in enrollment in the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program, with more students taking dual credit programs and co-op programs than ever before. And yes, more women in these programs as well. So we are making an impact, but I think we all know we have to go further. You know, the problem today we're solving is about the accelerating pathway into the skilled trades from high school, as many jurisdictions have done, including in Germany, where they have that more direct path. So to help inspire and incentivize more students into the skilled trades, our government is proud today to announce the new accelerated fast pathway, the Focus Apprenticeship Skills Training Program, that will build on the success of the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program, that helps students gain credits for skilled trades co-op placements in the workforce. And we're giving students a much faster pathway to the hands-on learning and skilled jobs by integrating apprenticeship training while they continue earning their high school diploma at the same time. So starting in September of 25, students enrolled in this program in grade 11 and 12 can now take up to 80% of their time in full-time apprenticeship placements through co-op, while the other 20% still remains in class learning. This Ontario Youth Apprenticeship FAST program for students will have access to apprenticeship training in all 144 trades, from construction, auto body repair, plumbing, you name it, we're doing it. And to honor these high-skilled students, the OYAP FAST graduates will receive a new seal of distinction on their high school diploma by the Ministry of Education to signify the successful completion, to recognize their dedication, and to help elevate the importance of the skilled trades credential in this province. I also just want to note that in September, these changes that we have announced today will build upon our government's introduction, a commitment to introduce a technical education requirement where every student will now be required to take one tech ed course, at least one in grade 9 or 10 starting this September. That's the path we want to help pursue the dream of this country, where young people who work hard can get ahead, where they can get a good job, own a home, and achieve the dream that generations of Canadians, including my own immigrant family, many of our immigrant families, came to this country seeking to do. And we want that dream to still be alive in our kids today. So that's why we announced last March that students entering into grade 9 this September will be required to take one of those technological education courses, part of their graduate high school diploma. This new graduation requirement will not only set students up for success in this new FAST program, but it also exposes every Ontario student to technological education earlier in their high school journey, and it'll help elevate more girls within our technical education trades. It can help guide them to future senior level courses and a career in the skilled trades. So look, I just want to say we are honored to work with Minister Piccini, Minister Williams, PA Barnes, on behalf of our Premier, to drive this change forward, to build more schools and more critical infrastructure, build more homes, and build new skills for the next generation of our country. So thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you to our amazing hosts. This is a wonderful school community. The educators here, principals, they work hard day in, day out, and they do it for our kids. And one of the young bright lights here, Judith Nyman, that we want to recognize is Sukraj, who's with us today. This young man will be an entrepreneur. He will make much more than us, and we may be working for him. So please welcome Sukraj today. Thank you so much.
Hi guys, I'm Sukraj Singh Dave, a grade 11 student at Judith Nyman Secondary School, and I'm currently enrolled in the RST, or Regional Skilled Trades program here. And the main reason I came to this school was to explore a bunch of hands-on trades and more hands-on activities. As in grade 8, when I originally was going to go to high school, my plan was to go to university. Well, this wasn't my plan, this was my family's plan, because they wanted they thought that trades were they were iffy about the trades because of the big stigma, like people, it's hard labor, people won't want to do certain things. And over the years, I've had a bunch of opportunities to try all the several different trades programs here at Judith Nyman Secondary School. I've tried the automotive program, the HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and basically what this has helped me do is it's helped me narrow down and decide what I want to do, because coming to the trades, out of all the 144 trades, it's really hard to decide what you want to do. And this gave me the opportunity to really figure out what I want to do. So coming to this school, I'm working on the Canadian Habitat for Homes tiny home project as my 2-credit co-op. And this also helped me pursue my plumbing career because I want to, of course, have my own business when I grow up in the future. And I'm also doing a dual credit program at Sheridan College right now for plumbing. And thank you to all the really skilled trades teachers here, which are all red sealed for their trade, for giving me a lot of knowledge and experience this semester. And I'm grateful to be a part of the Peel District School Board and a student here at Judith Nyman Secondary School. And what we need to talk about is the strong focus on students getting into trades, because a lot of students, they don't know what they want to do. And coming here to a school like this with all the different opportunities, it really helps them figure out. Because lots of students, they don't really do what they want to do, they end up doing what their parents want them to do, and that's not good for them. So with a key partnership with Skill Councils of Canada and the Peel District School Board and Judith Nyman Secondary School, we're committed to help students do what they want to do and also get into the trades and set up a really good future for the life ahead of them. And I would want to now introduce Melissa Young, which is the Chief Executive Officer of the Skilled Trades Ontario.
Good morning, everyone. Hard to follow that act, quite frankly. I just want to say something to you. You know, I've been working in the trades for over 30 years. You will complete high school with your credits. You will finish your apprenticeship. You will become an entrepreneur. And who knows, you could be a CEO for Skilled Trades Ontario. So everything's an opportunity and an option. So. Your passion is a little bit contagious. So. On to my formal remarks. Since launching as a new Crown agency 2 years ago, Skilled Trades Ontario has worked closely with our government and industry partners, as some are here today, which the Minister has noted, to modernize Ontario's skilled trade system and build up the next generation of skilled workers for this province. Together with the Ministry of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development, we introduced online services for apprentices and skilled trades professionals, including our Skilled Trades Ontario portal, public register, and digital logbooks. In partnership with the ministry, we also hosted a second series of Level Up career fairs last fall, reaching more than 27,000 students, parents, and educators across the province. And I think that's even going to increase this year, Minister. Yeah. So in addition to the fall career fairs, our team visits schools across the province year-round to deliver presentations and workshops all over Ontario to introduce Ontario's skilled trades and apprenticeship system to students and educators. And we continue to work with industry to develop leading-edge apprenticeship training and curriculum standards by leveraging subject matter expertise, which are certified tradespeople, through the Standards Industry Advisory Committees. This ensures that a workforce that is trained to the highest standard and positioned to meet the current and future industry needs. Since launching, Skilled Trades Ontario has implemented 13 new apprenticeship training standards and 9 new curriculum standards under the Ford government. This is groundbreaking, and I bring this up because, you know, things were kind of on a pause here in Ontario for a while, and things are moving, and they're moving well, full speed ahead. So we're really proud of that and proud of our partners with the ministry in making that happen. And we have several more products in development as well. This work is more pressing than ever before, with historic investments being made in infrastructure, like the announcement yesterday, for the 413. The demand for skilled trades workers is only going to continue to grow. As my colleague had mentioned, trying to think which side you're on. 1 in 5 jobs in Ontario are projected to be in the skilled trades by 2026. I would bet that that number is going to change and increase. You know, we've been saying that stat now for about a year and a half. I think we probably need to go revisit that because I'm pretty sure that that is on the rise. So we need to continue promoting the diverse and well-paying career opportunities in the skilled trades and making the pathway to these meaningful careers clear and accessible to everyone, starting in high school. Unlocking pathways to skilled trades means unlocking the future for our province. Tradespeople literally build and power our province and keep people, goods and services flowing throughout Ontario. Today's announcement builds on the work that Ontario government and Skilled Trades Ontario are doing to attract the new generation of workers, improving training and enhancing services for apprentices and skilled trades professionals. According to the ministry, as of October 2023, and I know the data takes a little while to add up, so we'll use a 2023 number, but there were around almost 94,000 apprentices in Ontario. That's more than the rest of the country combined, and then some. So it's a great stat. When I came to Ontario about 2.5 years ago to take on this role, we were just above 70,000. So this government has really raised the bar. And according to Stats Canada, in 2022, 33.5% of newly registered apprentices, so those just coming into the trade, were 24 years old or younger, compared to the national average, which is at 26.3%. We are really rocking it here in Ontario, and we're going to even bring that number up higher with these announcements like we're having today. This is just phenomenal. I'm so happy to see it, and I'm having a hard time to contain my excitement about it, simply because, you know, after all my years in working in the trades, it's nice to see that these things are happening at the high school level. What those numbers that I mentioned show is that what we're doing is working. There's growing interest among young people in Ontario in the skilled trades. Skilled Trades Ontario is pleased to see additional investments in innovative strategies to help even more youth, mature workers, and equity-deserving groups to explore and enter the skilled trades. The targeted supports announced today will break down barriers and pave the way for more people to discover rewarding, in-demand careers in Ontario's more than 140 skilled trades. We look forward to our continued partnership with the government to ensure skilled trades professionals and apprentices have the tools they need to build a thriving future. Thank you very much. And at this time, I would like to call on Brad Lassalle, CEO of Skills Council of Canada. And Brad, thank you for all the setup. I understand you were here at 5:30 this morning. Yeah. So, yeah, wakey.
Well, I'm extremely thrilled to be here. I want to talk first about the school. So when we met this school, it was over a year ago, we were shocked. When we first came to the school, I didn't know why my team was bringing me here, to be honest with you. When we started walking around the hallways and we started seeing the facilities here, they have 17 skilled trade facilities in this one building, which is extremely unique in any school I've ever been in. What caught my attention, though, the most was the compassion and dedication and vision and leadership from this school. The guy standing right behind me, towering over everybody here, is Dion. He's the principal of the school. There's a couple people behind us here, Frank and Susanna, who've been the lead behind the school and really passionate about how to help the school. Then when I met the board, there's a bunch of board members over here, and spent time with them many times, and the Director of Education, Rashmi, the passion and level of involvement and how much they care about the students really drove us to want to participate and support this school even more. Over the last little bit, we've been to the school. We're from Ottawa. We've been to the school dozens and dozens and dozens of times, being here early in the morning. And one of the things that stood out the most was what I just heard about that word fast. because that goes to talk about what I think is really important in solving this problem for skilled trades. There's an African proverb that is, alone we can go alone we can go fast, together we can go far. And what I like about that is it's all about collaboration for us. Our entire business model is about working together, because to solve a mass problem with 500,000 people that we need to solve this problem, you have to work together. There's not one individual company that can do it. And what I like about David's stuff that I've seen and things that hearing him speak, there's a lot of talk about collaboration. And while you can't see it, behind the cameras right now, there's dozens of partners from ours, from the ministry, all working together at the school and outside the school. And over the last several years, we've given so many tours to a lot of the people that have come to the school so they can see what's behind the walls. They can see the classrooms, the students, to support what we're building. We've had people come in over this last year. We've sponsored the rooms. This room we're in has been sponsored by Napa. Another room over there has been sponsored by Highmark, and we got so many other partners that are doing this. At the end of the day, all these leaders that are behind us are all geared and partnering together to support this. We collectively at Skill Council of Canada, with Judith Nyman, with the ministry, with all you partners here, if it's not for all of us working together, we won't solve this problem. So we are firm believers of partnerships and collaboration, and together we can do a lot more. I really appreciate everything you guys are doing for us. Really, really do. All of you. Thank you so much.
Q&A. As a reminder, one question, one follow-up. Would media please come up to the microphone?
I'm the media. Hi. It's Colin DeMello from Global News. I'm actually going to ask you one additional question. So this is to both the Minister of Education and the Minister of Labor. A colleague is wondering, is putting kids on such a specific track early on at the expense of broad range of learning what this policy is all about?
I'll just turn it over to Minister Lecce, but I would first say experiential learning matters. And the number of youth that I've met on job sites who are working with employer partners, school boards, teachers, who are saying math was challenging, but seeing it in a construction context, in building a Habitat for Humanity home, has inspired me to get my math credentials that I will need. So what we're saying here is there are compulsory courses that you're going to need to enter a number of compulsory trades. To become an electrician, for example. We're not compromising on that. But what we are saying is that getting some hands-on experience in those final 2 years can help accelerate that passion, help accelerate that apprenticeship, and getting people into meaningful careers. So I think this is purely complementary. You heard from Brad, partnerships. This isn't founded without extensive stakeholdering, partnerships with everyone you see here. So I'm very excited about where we're going on this, and I'll turn it over to Minister Lecce.
Yeah. You know, it's exciting because the government is actually reinvigorating how we educate young people. When we look at jurisdictions around the world, like in Germany, they have perfected the model of working and learning at the same time. And that collaborative, cooperative education model is the future of learning. Now that we put students in the driver's seat, they will decide if they want to take the accelerated FAST program, where they now can take up to 80% of their time in grade 11 and 12 in co-op courses, but they still will be required to complete grade 11 and 12 math and English, for example. There are fundamental prerequisites where we maintain, but giving that flexibility will, I think, help increase graduation rates for some students. Providing that flexibility may help incentivize them to pursue the trades, because they actually, in this program, get mentored by a business, which often becomes a future employer. And that's what we're trying to do, reduce the unemployment rate, increase employment for young people in these good paying jobs, and create a seamless transition where they're learning in high school, and then they're working and applying those skills in the economy in what often is almost always good paying jobs. So that's the future. It's a good model, but we will always ensure students decide if they want to take these courses. Remember, they currently usually take 1 to 2 Ontario Youth Apprenticeship courses. They now can take from 8 to 11. So a significant increase in flexibility, but they make that choice.
Okay, thank you. On another topic for the Minister of Education, recently Peel District School Board has installed vape detection devices in the bathrooms of 6 high schools, both in Brampton and Mississauga. These vape detection devices also come with sound detection or noise detection to alert the principal's office if there is some kind of emergency happening inside of the bathroom. Of course, that raises some privacy questions. Did the Ministry of Education know about these noise detection, vape detection devices, and did the ministry approve of them?
So school boards make those decisions without the ministry's involvement, but the province believes that we have an issue on vaping. I mean, we are one of the highest rates of vaping for young people in the industrialized world. So I welcome the leadership of school boards who have invested money to deter vaping from their schools. It is illegal to own a vape or to consume cannabis at the age under 18, and yet we've normalized it as a society. So we have to do more, which is why the province has launched a zero tolerance policy, the toughest in the country, with respect to vaping, cannabis, and nicotine. And we have announced $30 million for vape detectors. Obviously, our expectation is there's full compliance with privacy law. And I know school boards in good faith would do that. And I believe the board has provided commentary to you to affirm that they have followed those legal obligations to protect young people, but we support the installation of vape detectors in high school washrooms, for example, because they have been unofficial safe places for vaping. And so anything we can do to create deterrence, in addition to the knowledge, because this is not just a policy of enforcement, it's about education at its core. That's why we're going to be mandating enhanced learning on the perils of vaping and cannabis and tobacco products in our elementary schools, starting young, to try to change behavior and positively change the culture in our schools.
Okay, so it sounds like the Ministry of Education did not know specifically about these sound detection, vape detection devices. There are some devices on the market that can listen for gunshots, that can determine how many students are in a particular stall, that can also have trigger words that would be able to alert a principal if there is the word help or gun mentioned as well in the student washrooms. For that $30 million that you're providing for school boards, what specifications are you giving to school boards to say these vape detectors are okay and these ones that could listen in to students in the most private space in the school will not be allowed?
Well, our expectation is school boards will, obviously when they do procurement, they will fully comply with the law, privacy law, for example. And the ministry will be setting up a technical working group with everyone involved in implementing this new plan for September, educators, experts, public health, parents, students, teachers. And so through that working group, we can, of course, discuss the specificity of the programs. But look, it goes without saying, we expect compliance with the law. At the end of the day, let's not lose sight of what vape detectors do. I mean, they are designed to create awareness for administration that there is vape odor within a space. And it is a good thing to have them in schools. In the Near North District School Board that used this on a pilot, they saw a dramatic reduction in suspension rates, in graffiti, and most importantly and relevantly, in vaping. So they can be effective. Fair enough that we need to create guardrails to ensure safety. I have confidence in the board that they have done that and they will all do that. They understand their moral obligations. They are in the enterprise of protecting kids. It's why we've launched a plan to crack down on distractions and reorient schools back to academic achievement, which I believe is a priority for all of us. Thank you.
Good morning, ministers, and welcome to Brampton. There's a very famous saying, all roads lead through Brampton, but here is an opportunity where all major announcements come through Brampton.
Yes,
so thank you for making it happen as a proud Bramptonian. It's always good to see. So my question is related to the foreign experience. You mentioned that it will be recognized for making sure that those acute shortage of skilled trade people can be met here in Ontario. So as a Minister of Immigration and Labour and Skilled Trades, are there any opportunities for the temporary residents, those who come to Ontario, those who come to Canada, to enhance their skills or pass through some, skill testing to be able to work here in Ontario and Canada?
Excellent question. So I'm going to, four big things that we've done. Number one, as a government, Premier Ford and our government were the first to remove Canadian work experience requirements when we look at job posting. What we're saying is one should be judged on competency. I'm sick and tired of hopping in an Uber, of hopping in a cab, and hearing the driver's an engineer, the driver has some competencies in the skilled trades, or is a doctor or nurse. I'm sick of it. And so we're leaving no stone unturned to address that. So number one, first province to do it. You will see likely Nova Scotia, a number of other provinces follow suit to Premier Ford and our province's leadership. Number two, this bill that I'll be introducing next week is sending a strong signal to our regulatory bodies, working with our Fairness Commissioner, Commissioner Glasberg. We're saying to those regulatory bodies, you have to have a pathway to assess the very competencies you mentioned in your question, and it's giving the Fairness Commissioner potential powers to intervene in that policy to address it, because the days of sitting back and empowering gatekeepers to prevent foreign trained nationals from coming on to the front lines of our healthcare crisis in a number of hospitals are over under Premier Ford, and we're going to be working very closely with those regulatory bodies in pursuing it. I would also add that this policy here that we're introducing in today's announcement is also recognizing for those facing war-torn countries, those most vulnerable, refugees, asylum claimants, etc. I fundamentally believe that success, while the federal government controls the borders around asylum seekers and others, it's about more than just leaving someone in a hotel in Peel region and hoping for the best. That is what our federal government has done. Premier Ford is saying you have competencies. The failure of the federal government to even assess basic competencies is abject failure. And so we're calling on them to increase data sharing and to let the provinces know that if somebody's in that hotel has skilled trades competencies, we're not waiting for them. We're removing barriers here in Ontario, saying you have a pathway. If you don't have your secondary school diploma, you don't have some sort of credentialing from where you've come, but you want to work, as Premier Ford's always said, you're welcome in Ontario if you want to work.
Thank you very much. My follow-up question is related to the recent round of investments made by federal government and the provincial governments on topics like artificial intelligence, electric vehicle batteries and all. So is the Ministry of Education or the other related ministries trying to launch and introduce some courses where the youngsters can be introduced to these new future technologies and opportunities?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'll perhaps turn things over to Minister Lecce to add some commentary too, but with our Skills Development Fund, we're investing in a number of projects that are working very closely on leveraging new and emerging technology, helping support training with that new and emerging technology. I mean, let's not forget, we're living in a historic time. We've seen the largest battery plant announcement with Stellantis and Nexstar, just to be surpassed by another larger investment in Volkswagen, to now be surpassed by another larger investment in Honda. And let's not forget, when Premier Wynne wanted to turn Ontario into a service economy, and Bloomberg and others estimated that we would have zero investment in EV and emerging EV technology, Premier Ford has turned that around to now attract close to $45 billion in foreign direct investment, and that's creating jobs. And I know for those workers I stood with yesterday, they're excited because this is jobs, these are good paying jobs right here in Ontario for Ontario workers.
What I'd add is, from the curriculum perspective, we are very much a government that's looking forward where the puck is going when it comes to the future of the economy and the future of work. We're proud to be the first government in Canada to actually mandate learning on AI in the curriculum. We were the first government in Ontario to mandate coding between grade 1 and 9 in the math and science curriculum. So while we are very much futuristic and looking to those skills to make sure that we are ensuring that graduates have a competitive advantage relative to the rest of the industrialized world, we're also sometimes going old school. We brought back cursive writing and phonics and time-tested strategies that have been highly effective where the data underpins their success. So absolutely, we are investing in those future skills that we know are needed, necessary prerequisites to succeed. We ultimately want to create digital fluency, but we also want to create a greater sense of digital citizenship, where people understand how to responsibly interface with technology. It can be an opportunity, it can be a threat if we don't create safeguards around it. And that's why, I want to go back to Sunday's announcement where we are committing to strengthening learning. We may be in the first province in the country to have introduced it, but clearly we have to go further. And that's why we will be mandating additional learning on the responsible use of technology. We're banning social media from school Wi-Fi and devices across Ontario. But at the end of the day, we want to create responsible habits, personal responsibility. We're young people because, look, these students will leave in grade 12. They'll go off to the real world. And so we want to create habits and a culture that is one where young people could be raised in this country to be productive citizens and to work hard and to get ahead. So a ton of change forthcoming, and we're excited about that. And we're frankly preparing for that so that when every student graduates in Ontario, they've got the skills that could be applied for a good paying job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. As there are no further media questions, that concludes the announcement. Thank you, everybody.